Hey man, you want to go to the Blue Wahoos game? You want to go to the Blue Wahoos
What'd you
game, man?
call me?
Oh, no, man, the Blue Wahoos.
What'd you say about my mama?
I said the Blue Wahoos.
Nah, bro. I'm gonna go to the Modesto Nuts game.
Oh my god.
Huh?
It's the boy, Bubba, let's coming through. Hella clutch, flawless, can't be touched. It's your boy, Bubba, let's. Yeah, I need that hot take. I need the truth and everything that is not fake. So tell me.
Welcome back, Bubba Bunch, to another episode of the Bubba Let's Sports Podcast, episode 156, closing in on 100 episodes on the revamped version of the Bubba Let's Sports Podcast. We are closing in on a full year of nonstop action.
We're about to hit the century mark. I like that.
Okay. I don't know where you got year and century from.
No, you said 100 episodes.
100. Oh, I thought you meant the year. I was like, I don't know if your math's correct on that one.
This guy over here.
You know what? I ain't the smartest tool in the shed, but
It's all right. We still love you here.
it's all right. I got 83 people that may think I'm stupid, but at least in sports, I'm less stupid. So, you know, it gets
sound reasoning.
You know what? As long as I sound believable. I can get a job at ESPN, might as well, because, you know, you got people on there that are just trying to get, clickbait.
Hey, man, if Skip Bayless can get a job, I think you can get a job.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because, why, Kevin? Because
What?
Skip. Do ASMR.
Can't lose in those shoes.
Oh! That was beautiful.
Was it?
On
Was
the
it?
new Yeti mic.
Shout out
ladies and
to the Blue Yeti mic. Thank you, Blue Yeti. I'm an official podcaster now. Foreshadowing, hint, hint.
Blue Yeti gang.
Blue Yeti gang.
Yeah, foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
Just watch out next week.
Just watch out.
You know,
for you.
Just a good upcoming stretch for the both of us, I think.
Yes, very much so.
Because you got something big planned soon.
I do. I
and
really do.
I got some big plans too for next week.
Oh.
Just saying, Tuesday we got a big guest coming on the podcast.
Really?
I'm telling you.
Oh my.
I'm talking celebrity.
Oh.
I'm talking.
Really?
I'm talking celebrity in El Paso.
Oh no.
I'm not lying. Not
Oh
lying.
shit. Okay. All right.
If you follow my Twitter, I think you know where I'm going with that. But
yeah.
A big guest coming, and I'm really excited for that podcast.
All I'll say is that when my project hint hint drops, you're gonna have to start adding a new Twitter.
Yes.
Yes.
I can say the same for that.
No.
But how about the podcast for me popping off this week?
Dude,
a really good week.
I texted you and I was like, hey man, like this is the first time, like, you know, and I think a good while that like literally like the last 4 uploads, like within like 1 or 2 hours, like instant, like 10 views. I was like, Jesus, let's go.
Because it tells you kind of like your projection and like the ranking from the last like 10 uploads or the top 10 uploads that you've put out. And the one with Mikey, the first episode, was 1 of 10 in the first like 3 hours. And I was like, wow, like that's really going to do really good. And in a matter of like a day, it was at like 21 views.
The one with Navarro's still number 1, right?
The first one we ever did together, that thing I just checked, it's 89 views.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
That, dude.
That's awesome. And I'm kind of surprised because that's the lowest one that we have this week is the Navarro one, which I thought was going to be the highest one because of the first time. But, you know, I expect like that because it took a while for that first episode to really exponentially grow. So I expect the same for the second one. But yeah, the Mikey one really turned out well. The one with Rooster, Eddie, and I did very well. And, you know, we haven't done one together in over like a week or two. Yeah. So, you know, I just kind of want to balance it out. I just want to have like, you know, just a nice variety of guests.
Yeah. And you know, although me and you are a dynamic duo.
Absolutely.
Still got to be some variety. I agree. agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why the guest on Tuesday, I probably have another one planned for next week as well. Mikey will be back, and I'm going to try my hardest to get some other people, big names, big tings.
I like that. I like that.
So keep that in mind as you subscribe and follow the podcast, because we're at 83 subscribers. But anyways, enough about me.
Enough about me.
Enough about you. This is going to be a chill one, and I feel like I should do more chill ones on the YouTube channel, on the podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about the Cowboys, because there was some big news, and we didn't even talk about some of the most heartbreaking news that came out of Dallas.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Gerald McCoy, because we're going to talk about him. I'm talking about Kai Forbath. Kai Forbath got cut 2 weeks ago.
He did get cut. Yes, unfortunately.
Now, Greg Zuerlein is still, in my opinion, one of the best kickers in the league, and I loved him in Los Angeles.
Agreed.
And I'm hearing good things. He's fully recovered from the groin injury. He's perfect in practice. He's perfect in his attempts so far in training camp.
Yeah.
And he's hitting 40-yarders with ease, and you see clips of him hitting fucking 50, 60-yarders. But I'm kind of sad. I really loved Kai Forbath last year. To come in the middle of the season and to take over for the man that shall not be named anymore on this podcast, and to go perfect, 10 of 10.
Yeah.
In situations where he needed to make those kicks to keep him in the game. He was probably the most consistent thing other than Dak Prescott last year for me.
Yeah.
And I thought my prediction for this year was that since Zuerlein is going to recover from that groin injury, and you could give him a year to really just get 100% healthy. You don't have to bring him in and go all in at the very beginning. You can give Kai the starting job for this year. Let him audition for the rest of the league. He still has a lot of years in the league.
Oh, he does for sure. Yeah.
He's going to be a consistent kicker. And then you allow Zuerlein to get healthy after this year, keep him under contract, which they're gonna, and then he has a starting job for the next few years after Kai. But for Kai to just get cut, it's saddening, and I hope that he'll find a good spot. I don't think he has yet around the league, but you're getting a consistent kicker, and I was really excited for Kai Forbath to be a Cowboy once again.
Yeah. I actually saw a tweet the other day about, I think it was the special teams coach for the Cowboys, and he had a public statement saying that he's he has full confidence in Greg Zuerlein. He's practically 100%. Like you said, he's making kicks with ease. So that got me excited because, dude, Greg the Leg was a baller, straight baller in the St. Louis / Los Angeles years when he was over there. So I can't wait to have another kicker that's reliable. But I do have to agree with you that Kai Forbath was a little disheartening to see, just because I feel like it could be said for a lot of Cowboys fans that we fell in love with him right away because he was making kicks that should be made, unlike the bum that we're not going to talk about. So I think right away going 10 for 10 was 10 for 10 or 11 for 11.
It was 10 for 10.
10 for 10, yeah. He went 10 for 10 right away in the last 4 games that he had. And dude, and he did it with ease. I think only maybe one field goal was kind of a little to the right or to the left, but every other one was straight down the middle. He piped it. It was good. So, but you know what? If anything, I think that those 4 games last season show that he still has it in him, going a perfect 10 for 10.
For sure.
So I'm hoping that he gets called up right away. Chicago. So maybe he gets a job soon, but for right now, I'm just happy that Greg the Leg is 100% because, dude, it's Greg the Leg. How can you not like him?
Well, it's that, and not only that, it's John Fossil reuniting with Greg Zuerlein.
Yes.
They were together at Los Angeles, and I consider John Fossil as the best special teams coordinator, and around the league, he is, admired for what he's done with the special teams in Los Angeles.
We all know that we need that.
It needs to come together. They need a special teams unit. They didn't have that in Jason Garrett's era.
The Cowboys Yeah, the Cowboys only had offense and defense in the Jason Garrett era. That's it.
They did not care about special teams, and I think the Detroit Lions game last year was the epitome of that. Where Tavon Austin, who is, if you look at his film from high school at West Virginia, his highlight reels, like a lot of that came from special teams, and yet in Dallas, like there was just nothing like that. And the decision that was made to where in late game, under a minute to go against Detroit, down a touchdown, and he had 20 yards in front of him, and they just told him, don't even try to run it, just fair catch it. It was one of the worst decisions that I've seen for the Cowboys in a very long time. It cost them the game because those 20 yards could have been easily taken advantage of by the Dallas Cowboys and gotten them better field position and got them in a situation where they can win instead of a Hail Mary from past midfield, which honestly, man, like I am so happy to have John Fossil as one of the coaches on this team, and to have that pair with him and Zerline that were together, one of the best duos together in the NFL. I mean, Greg just hit everything that one year, and I had him in fantasy that year, and that dude was consistent 10, 12, 15 points a game and won me a lot of games. So I'm happy to have Greg as a starter. It sucks to see Kai leave, but he's going to get a starting job somewhere. There's always a need for kickers. Mm-hmm. And I think the years with Minnesota, the season he had with Dallas, like he's a consistent guy. I wish him nothing but the best. He's great. But either way, it was a win-win. I think either way. Yeah. So, but we never talked about that. That always kind of slipped my mind when we were doing podcasts. But I think that's a big move. But the big news that came out this week is, of course, Gerald McCoy tearing his quad and being out for the season. So, of course, the smart move for the Cowboys, who had the clause, the waiver inside of his contract that said if he did re-injure that quad, then they can cut him and he wouldn't make the rest of the money. So he doesn't make the rest of his $6 million contract. He gets a 3-year, $3 million signing bonus, and now he's off the team. But good thing is that mutually, the two sides want to have them in Dallas. They want Gerald McCoy to be a Cowboy next season. Seeing the video, it sucks because it's just a freak accident. It's just a regular drill.
Oh, yeah.
He's smart on the Cowboys for having that in the contract. I told you this. I'm like, if it was anybody else, I would have been still, really just saddened by any of those free agents that came in and they get injured immediately. It just sucks whenever it happens, no matter what team it is. But it happened to probably the most exciting guy that the Cowboys had coming into the season. Very energetic, positive, and was ready to play football with the star on his helmet. And it sucks to see a guy like that with a personality like that be the one that gets injured.
Yeah, man, he was making 2 Twitter videos a week, just explaining how excited he was and how the grind was going and how he wants to win a championship for Mike McCarthy. Man, just it sucks. And then, like you said, even watching the video, honestly, at first glance, I just thought he fell down. I thought he lost his balance. But then, once he started groveling on the floor and holding his quad, that's when I was like, oh man, this is it. That's when it happened. And it sucks because you can see the guy that he was going up against, he was just trying to help him, and he even he was just damn, that's it. It's over. So it does really suck. I think the biggest loss is going to be, besides the energy and the vibes that he was going to bring, just the fact that veteran leadership that he was going to bring to this squad was going to be, it's going to be missed, just because DeMarcus Lawrence is already a veteran, but having my Gerald McCoy on the line as well was going to be such a dominant presence, and also those two would have been a tandem together, and also not even to mention that he could have been on the side of Jalen and Leighton and just giving them advice about defense and just how to play, just how to play certain plays, how to play at the level that he's been playing for a long time. We both agree, and we I think everybody can agree that Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith are extremely good linebackers. We both know that DeMarcus Lawrence, is an extremely good defensive end. I know what you're gonna say. You don't like his contract. I agree with you. It's a little iffy, but
D-Laws?
still. Yeah, D-Law. Yeah.
Compared to what defensive ends are getting now,
Yeah.
that's actually a good contract. I just
now.
think that and even then I kind of go back and forth because I think that I focus more on the sacks. But when you really think about it, D-Law right now and for the last like 2-3 seasons, the disruption.
He's been a force.
Yeah, he's been a force. So the disruption and the attention that he gets is what the money is worth. And a lot of people are just going to disagree with that because they think like it's all about numbers, it's all about sacks. But I honestly thought that David Irving was the sack guy on that team, and I felt like he was more important to that line than D-Law. D-Law is always going to be there as far as a force. And, those first couple of years after the contract signing, I was like, look, I don't know yet. But I think now he knows his role. And, I mean, having Robert Quinn last year really balanced it out. So it really proved that there can be a huge presence, not only from D-Law, but from that entire defensive line. So it's not all on him. He's trying his best and he's getting double teamed. What more can you ask out of him?
I mean, think about it now. You got D-Law on one side and you got the big boy, Everson Griffin, on the other. Jesus Christ, like how the hell are, unless we're playing, like Kansas City or Indianapolis, when they have like some of the best lines in the NFL. Well, not Kansas City. Kansas City's a little different. But like Indianapolis, where like their line's amazing, like who the hell is going to stop both of them? Not even to mention that you got the big boy, Dontari Poe, right in the middle.
Big boy.
I mean, he a big boy. And also, I mean, I've said this multiple times on here, and I said this multiple times to you that, my boy, specifically Antoine Woods, I love Antoine Woods personally. I think he's extremely underrated, in my opinion. And him and Tyrone Crawford are battling right now for that spot of Gerald McCoy. But honestly, I really think it should be given to Woods because he's proven himself, in my opinion, in my eyes, he has proven himself to be one of our top DTs in the past couple of years. So it sucks. It really does suck about Gerald McCoy, but I think because of the depth we have, we'll be fine. But I do agree with you that I just really, really hope that mutuality. No, I think I said it wrong. But the mutual feeling between both the Cowboys and McCoy, they can come back next year.
Like, it's all a matter of what scheme they're going to run. And I truly believe that I've read enough to where they're going to switch over to a 3-4. And that will benefit them extremely to the point to where they don't even need Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe on the field at the same time. I think they're going to focus more on their edge rushing, which they've needed to. It was successful last year with Robert Quinn and D-Law. And this year with a more focused scheme that fits that better. Having Dontari on the inside, and then you have D-Law, then you have Everson Griffin. And don't forget, man, Aldon Smith. I've heard nothing but great things coming out of training camp, out of these analysts. Aldon Smith is impressive. Mike McCarthy is shocked by him at how good he's doing so far.
That's true. He hasn't been talked about at all, really.
Honestly, man, like he wasn't even considered a starter if they are going to do a 4-3. But if they switch over to a 3-4, if they do it, like if they do both, I mean, they could do that because of the unpredictability. They've actually talked about that a lot too, where these players are saying, "Look, now we have disguises." Like, oh my God, like there's going to be some unpredictability on defense. Does that exist in Dallas?
Are these the Cowboys we've been watching for the past 10 years? My Lord.
Hey, Rod, did you know that exists? Oh, you don't have to show them exactly where you're going to. Got you. Okay, I'll talk to you later, Rod. Okay, but like, I mean, they obviously I'm maybe looking at it as a biased standpoint because I'm focusing more on what I'm seeing on Twitter and it's all these analysts that are trying to be positive. They want to make the Cowboys look good.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It leads to more views, it leads to more reads, all of that.
More impressions, everything, yeah.
But nothing seems forced. Like everything that I'm seeing, where it's like, oh, Aldon Smith looks really good. I was like, like the dude was elite when he was in San Francisco when he stayed on the field. And then you look at, like, let's say Dontari Poe or like Clinton Dix, even Dak. Like, I've seen multiple interviews with Mike McCarthy right now where he's like I'm in love with Dak. Like, I think he with a guy that's worked with like guys like Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers, like he knows what he's talking about when it comes to quarterbacks. He's not going to BS it.
The new head coach is in love with Dak?
Oh,
Not surprising, Jerry. Not surprising, Jerry.
Crazy how an above average quarterback actually gets credit for once.
Yeah,
Even
mind you, by a Super Bowl
say it
winning head
say it one more time for the people in the back. Yep.
Super Bowl winning head coach.
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry. How many trophies did Jason Garrett win? How many?
Okay. Well, let's do the math here.
Okay.
You multiply it by 10.
Okay.
Divide it by 4.
Okay.
Carry the 1.
Uh-huh.
And I think you end with a
don't forget the extra one.
Ah, yes. Sorry. Sorry. It's PEMDAS. I forgot about it.
Yeah. PEMDAS, yeah.
I think that still leads us to a big fat 0.
Wow, what a surprise.
Wow.
Dude, watch. Dak's going to get his money next year because Mike McCarthy has more value than Jason Garrett. Just a thought, though. Just a thought. But anyway, yeah, dude, the whole Mike McCarthy thing, I'm in love with. Did you see that interview that he had where he was just basically saying like, if you're a head coach in the NFL or if you're a player in the NFL and your goal is not the Super Bowl, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I love that he's making it a point that he's not here to mess around. He's here to win and nothing else.
Right.
He just gave himself the expectation that I've been saying for the past 2 months. It's Super Bowl or bust. That's it. And he understands that,
Yeah.
So I love the fact that Mike McCarthy is like implementing himself into this team that, hey, those 10 years, forget about him. We're going to make a new 10 years or however long he stays here. All right. Hopefully it's a long time. Hopefully it's a lot of wins. Hopefully it's a championship. My Lord, I would like to see a Super Bowl win from my boys before I even have my own boy. That'd be nice, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But like I love it. I love how he's treating everything. I love how he's treating camp. I just love so far what I'm seeing of Mike McCarthy. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself because the season does start very soon. But
Jesus, man, it's like 3 weeks away.
Yeah, the season exactly 20 days. I saw it on an Instagram post because they were hyping up that Chiefs Texans game. That's gonna be such a good game. It's gonna be such a good game.
Thursday night.
Oh man. But yeah, so I'm loving it. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Mike McCarthy. I'm loving the attitude. I'm loving the discipline. And did you hear that?
Oh,
did you hear that?
I didn't. Actually.
Oh, no clapping. Wow. Oh, so that's what it was to not hear any clapping. I like it actually. I like it. Wow. I like it, dude. I like the no clapping. Here, pull up the clip of that Jets game when no one high-fived them. That'd be nice.
Oh, I'm gonna put that up.
Yeah, you can pull
for
it
all
up.
YouTube viewers.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put
pull
that up.
Pull it up.
I'm seeing Mike McCarthy set a expectation, and he's backing it up. He's doing it himself too. Yeah. It's not just up to the players. He says, I have my responsibilities, but most importantly, it's like we got to win, whether it's a small or big win. Like we have our difficulties coming to the season. Gerald McCoy going down, that's a huge loss. Yeah. But what I'm seeing is now guys like Everson Griffin, who has come out and said, like, look, I actually want to retire as a Cowboy. Like, I've always wanted to play for the Cowboys. I'm like, that's awesome. That's great. And
how many players do you have that say that, dude?
You have so many players on that team right now that grew up loving the Cowboys, and they always wanted to play with the Cowboys. Well, now there's their chance, but it's not just fun and games now that it used to be with Jason Garrett. Like, it was just like, oh, I'm happy to be here. No, it's now it's like you gotta.
Who's another one? Another one?
Who?
Dak. Just saying.
Dak Prescott.
Just saying. He said that too. Jerry, keep going.
Yeah. But Mike McCarthy is saying, like, look, we're gonna take it one step at a time, but we're gonna win at everything we do.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's a game, if it's a Super Bowl, or getting through this COVID situation. We need to win, and I think now it's influencing and it's contagious. It's a contagious type of mentality, and if I'm if I'm a fan, if I'm a player, I'm riding or dying with Mike McCarthy right now. I've loved what I've seen so far, and I'm excited for. And they've said like, look, we're just trying to go into that Los Angeles game and win. Like that's all we're focused on right now. That there's no distractions. Think about that. Well, actually, now that I think about it, like, can we, other than Dak, and that's just in itself like been a problem, and there's nothing that we can really do about it until next season, so we can put it on the back burner. But has there been a season or an off season going into the next where we don't have a distraction, where we don't have
on the Cowboys roster?
On the Cowboys.
Oof.
Anything. Like, it doesn't matter if it's front office or player wise. Like, it's nice to just have like a positive outlook on everything, you know?
I mean,
it's so hard in sports to do that, but
if you want to take a look at it that way, I mean, I don't think we've had one since before Tony Romo. Because every year for Tony Romo was a distraction. Because Dak Prescott is getting the exact same hate that Tony Romo was getting. I think it's been probably a decade now.
Oh, it's been way more than that.
Maybe like what, 15 years?
Way more. You can go back to the 90s. Because think about it. Once we got into the new millennium, like it was disaster for the Cowboys. It was just like, how bad can they be? Yeah. Whether it was Drew Bledsoe, the Quincy Carter years, the Vinny Testaverde years, and then you start the whole stigma of, oh, well, the Cowboys will never get back to their dynasty years. They will never get back to that. And then the bad coaches, you even go with Hall of Fame coaches like Bill Parcells and Wade Phillips. Like, it was always the stigma of like, well, they're always going to screw it up. Oh, well, there's always the distraction on the team. There's a player that may have gone into some issues, off the field, contract disputes. Oh, well, now you got characters. Now you got divas. And here we are in 2020. And now I feel like the only distraction we really have is Dak Prescott. And even if you put that to the side, it's a matter of the pressure. And the pressure is not only on the Cowboys, it is on the Kansas City Chiefs. How many Super Bowls can they win? Now they have that target on their back. Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson. Can he win a playoff game? Which he can. So I don't get how two playoff games can just decide that. But they have the pressure on them. Patriots, can they stick to what they know now with a whole new offense and see if they can have the same success? Cam Newton has to prove himself. Like these storylines are heading more toward other teams, even though the Cowboys are a good, full-on balanced team right now. It's just the Dallas Cowboys are going to have that pressure on them. But now more than ever, it feels like it's more diverse. It's more distributed throughout the league as far as pressure and chip on their shoulders. It's not just the Cowboys.
Yeah, I was actually going to get to that because I was going to, when we were talking about Mike McCarthy as like a whole and how he was, just basically redesigning the culture of this team. For the sake of the NFL in general, I just hope that all these teams that come in with a new head coach that, that they can change themselves as well because, right now football is in a very awkward position with this whole COVID situation. And, I think right now, if anything, this is the year where head coaches need to step up the most. They need to take control of the situation. And I don't know if you personally or anybody that watches have seen Hard Knocks, the new season of Hard Knocks with both LA teams. Man, I really love how Sean McVay and Anthony Lynn are taking care of this whole COVID situation. Shout out to them, what they're doing. It's a very bold statement to say that it's for the cameras, but I wouldn't say that. I would say that you got to take care of your players. You're a multi-million-dollar organization. It's a very big deal. But anyway, I do think that a lot of coaches this year are going to be tackling that problem of culture change. For example, I think one of the biggest ones that come out of my head is Ron Rivera. Also, side note, I hope he gets better.
Oh, prayers to Ron Rivera.
Prayers to Ron Rivera. I hope he gets
terrible
better.
News about him getting lymph node cancer.
Yeah. So first, let him fight that battle. But in general, Washington is a team that, my Lord, I think if anybody needs a head coach right now, it's them. Jesus Christ. They are going through some insane things that, we knew it was coming, but it's one thing to like wonder when it's gonna happen to now that it's actually happening, and they need a person that needs to guide them. Especially other teams, like the Giants. Like, first of all, I think we could all agree here that when it comes to the Giants, it's not really the head coach; it's their general manager, Dave Gettleman. Please, my lord, what are you doing there? Jesus Christ. Um, so they need to hopefully what was his name? What's the Giants head coach's new name?
Joe Judge.
Joe Judge, yes, Joe Judge. Hopefully Joe Judge can turn their season around. I know we're Cowboys fans, and we don't want them to turn around, but in general, for the sake of football, Washington, New York, Carolina, even as well. I know you're very fond of them right now because you love their draft. Okay, can can Matt Rule make this draft and make it work? Can he make Teddy B work again? We know Teddy B, and we know what he can do, but can Matt Rule make it happen? You know, um, just just all these teams that are getting new head coaches. I hope that, especially right now, because of how difficult the situation right now is with COVID, that they can take charge and have like a firm foot. Like, hey, like, I'm your leader. Let's get this done. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they need that. They need that solid figure because all those teams that I just named. Including us. Like, I'm not being biased. Like, as a Cowboy fan, things needed to change
Yeah.
big time for all these teams that I just mentioned. Um, I mean, you look at last year, we saw with the Dolphins. At the beginning of the year, everybody was scrutinizing the Dolphins because they were garbage. I'm sorry, like, they were garbage at the beginning of the season. But as the season progressed, you saw that Brian Flores, shout out to him, amazing coach for what he did. He turned what, the 0-9 Dolphins to the 5-11 Dolphins
Mm-hmm.
by the end of the
They
season.
really ended that season strong.
Jesus Christ. And now they're adding all these guys, Kyle Van Noy, Byron Jones, Tua, they're adding offensive linemen, they're adding more defensive players. Like, they have a bright future, but it's the matter of, can the head coach step in? Do I think Brian Flores can do it? He just showed it last season, you know? Um, Now it's just time for all these new coaches to come in, especially, like teams like the Washington football team. We have to say that now, and the Cowboys, where they basically have completely new coaching staffs. Like, it's not just the head coach; it's a
Mm-hmm.
whole new coaching staff.
Yeah. Um, Here's the thing about it, man. Like, as we get closer to the season, like, do we have a for sure plan of what's gonna happen with COVID in the NFL?
No,
Like,
as of right now, no.
how are we talking about fans being in the stadiums, and whether it's 25%, 50%, whatever the case may be, it should be 0% until we figure out what's going on. Like, you know, I had no doubts on the NBA side because they were like, look, we're just doing a straight bubble. Like, no one's going to leave, no one's going to enter once, we figure out like who they are, whether they're approved to get in, whether it's
Yeah,
a player coming in late or their family members, like they're starting to do that process later in the playoffs. But they're like, you are going to get tested every day. If you want to shorten quarantine time, then you're gonna have to pass all these COVID tests.
for
If
sure.
you don't want to do that and you're okay with staying in for an extra 3 days, then that's fine. You can do that too. But like until you are for sure, like, we have no chance of a negative test, you are not going to set foot in this bubble.
Yeah.
And the MLB, like, how terrible is that being handled?
Yeah,
Because
it's a real travesty right now, honestly.
it is, because we're still having postponements of games because of the owner of the Pirates got tested positive.
Yes, and also recently today, I believe, a staff member
And a player.
and a player from the New York Mets got tested positive. So, a player and a basically a manager, an assistant manager, that's around all 25 of those players every single day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows how many players are going to arise. I mean, look what happened to the Marlins. One day it was just one positive, the next day 4, the next day 8, the next day 15. Like, are you serious? Like,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
And before the season started, there was no talks of how they're going to handle this situation. They were just kind of like, hey, you got to figure it out. Like, every state is different, so you guys got to figure it out. And guess how that's going? Like, we talked about basically canceling the whole season at some point after the Marlins. And now, with some more teams dealing with that, well, we don't know what the future holds. And yet, Rob Manfred is just not. I haven't heard anything from him.
The last thing I heard from Rob Manfred is that he basically threatened the whole entire league, saying that if this situation doesn't stop, we're just canceling.
Oh, so you mean like 2 weeks ago? And even when I read that statement, I was like, so you're telling me, you're saying that if the league doesn't get it fixed, then we're going to cancel the whole season. I'm like, aren't you the league? Aren't you the guy in charge of the league?
Yeah.
You're the commissioner, right? I'm seeing Adam Silver busting his back every day to make sure that these players are taken care of, that the games are running smoothly, that their testing is being done on a consistent basis. Zero positive tests have come out of like 500 players, 500 tests, whatever the case may be. Like, that number like resonates. Like, 0 positive test in a bubble that has gone on for a month.
And also, like I said earlier, like, if you haven't seen Hard Knocks, like, the way they're doing it at both LA camps, I think it's phenomenal. Like, they're doing a great job. I think out of both teams, right now in the off season, where teams are at 90 players. So basically, almost up to 200 players. If you want to count staff, maybe 300 people in total between those two teams. The Chargers had only one case. The Rams have only had one case. They went home, quarantined, they came back, everything's fine. That's it. Every single day they get tested. Every single day they get their blood drawn. Every single day they wear these bracelets that if it's like a sensor where if someone gets too close to them, it buzzes and they're forced to move back from each other.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's stuff like that makes the difference. And I don't know. I think MLB could have done a better job at protecting their players, just because, for one, I mean, we both know that NBA and the NFL as a whole are more valuable than baseball. But when it comes to player contracts, baseball is higher by a mile. Mike Trout has a contract of 12 years, $430 million. Who's the highest paid player in basketball? I'm asking you because I don't know personally. I don't watch basketball.
That's a good question.
Would it be like Giannis, Karl Anthony Towns? I don't know.
I mean, the obvious answer is LeBron.
Is it LeBron? Possibly.
I mean, like, oh man, I don't know. I think it's LeBron, because like there's just like a max that you can do.
Okay.
And it's nowhere near what baseball and football are.
Yeah, like the highest paid player right now in football is.
I'm gonna look that up.
The highest paid player in football right now. I mean, it's who is it? Patrick Mahomes, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So Patrick Mahomes now has baseball money. He has baseball money, and that's the first time. That's the first time that's ever happened ever. There has never been a deal in NFL history that has come close to baseball money, and he eclipsed it. But besides Patrick Mahomes, who's second place? Russell Wilson for like what, 185, 200, something like that?
Yes. And then whoever's the next quarterback.
Yeah.
Like whoever quarterback is next to get a contract, that's the second highest.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I don't know. I just think that baseball should have done way different, just because of the fact that it's they have the money to do it, and if basketball did it, why can't they? I think the season is going to be, I think the first couple of weeks of the NFL is going to be a big test to see how well these protocols are for COVID.
Yeah,
So
it's just a dangerous game to play with that many people involved.
yeah.
By the way, Steph Curry is the highest paid player in the NBA right now.
Ah, Steph Curry. How could I forget that name?
Of course. Let me think. I mean, look, I'm not watching baseball right now.
Yeah.
I am locked into NBA. I'm
Yeah.
locked into UFC.
Yeah.
I am locked into Champions League because that ends on Sunday, which is an incredible matchup.
So I have to ask you, what the hell happened this weekend? My main Twitter, where it's like a bunch of sports, was blown up because something about that Barcelona got destroyed or something like that.
Oh
And
yeah,
everybody felt bad for Messi, right? What happened there?
well, when you're considered probably the favorite to win the whole tournament, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that you probably have arguably the best player in the world, and you have a stacked roster, and then you get beaten by a Bayern Munich team. That's good. That's good, but I wouldn't consider
Barcelona
them.
good,
But
apparently.
not like elite status in my opinion. And they proved it in that game. When you lose 2-8.
Oh, it was 8-2?
Yeah, it's the worst loss in Barcelona's history.
That's worse than Brazil.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is that
Wow.
Thomas Muller was on both of those days.
Wow.
He was on the German team when they beat Brazil.
And
Brazil
he's on
8-1.
Bayern
And he's Bayern Munich team right
Wow,
now. He played
that's-
an amazing game, by the way.
That's insane.
But yeah, I mean, I think the argument of Messi leaving Barcelona has been around for quite a while because they always seem to choke and they always seem to never capitalize on their opportunities because the big names, other than PSG and Bayern, were Juventus, Real Madrid, Man City, Liverpool, who won last year. All of these guys are out of the tournament at this point.
Yeah.
Out of the tournament. And Barcelona didn't capitalize on La Liga, which they had a lead in over Real Madrid for most of the season, and they choked that. Then they have the ability to win Champions League because if they get through Bayern, it's a really strong chance they win it. And they just and plus they dude, their coaching throughout the season was just so bad. So bad. Giga did a terrible job. And then there was a lot of formation issues in that game, so that's what dealt like a lot of problems for their defense. But man, like the fact that is one of the most like value teams like money-wise in the world, and you have arguably the best player in the world, and he's gotten to the point where like you do nothing for me.
Yeah.
You know how bad of a situation it has to be for a guy that has been there almost his entire life of soccer, his entire life of soccer, and has given everything to this organization, to this club, and is gone to the point where he's like, you do nothing for me. I'd feel better if I left. That's what it does for my legacy, is that you're ruining it. That's terrible.
To a certain extent, that's somewhat what happened to Derek Jeter in his final couple of years with the Yankees. After that World Series win in 2009, the Yankees they weren't horrific, but they were not the elite status that the Yankees are supposed to uphold. And when you have the captain, arguably one of the most iconic figures of baseball in recent history, and he's just there losing season after losing season after losing season, it gets to a point where we're all like, hey, like, what the hell? Like, how are we not, like, capitalizing for Derek? I mean, because each league has that one player that, like, you hope they win, you hope they do good because of who they are. And I guess that's a very comparable statement to what happened with Derek Jeter and the Yankees. From what you're telling me.
Yeah. It's just going to be hard to see Messi in a different uniform than Barcelona, because I started thinking about it, I was like, where would he go? Like, he wouldn't stay in Spain, in my opinion. Like, he would not go to Real Madrid. That just would not happen. I've never seen that, like, in my mind.
You think there's a possible Cristiano like team up or what? Or is that too much money?
No. I think Juventus is just like
on another. Like, are they good enough already?
I don't know what they're doing. I mean, they just got a new coach, and I think they're going to ride with it. They have some good players. I just don't know if Messi and Ronaldo would fit well together, because I always thought that like Neymar, Messi, and Suarez like together was just like too much. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can have too many all stars on your team to where you
Well,
start to argue like who gets the ball, and that's what the case was with PSG like last season with Neymar and Cavani. Like they started like arguing with like who gets the big chances,
yeah, yeah.
and now Cavani's with another team.
Aren't Neymar and Mbappe teaming together as well though?
Yes, here's the difference though, is that like to me, Mbappe needs time. Like he needs to learn from someone, and that perfect someone is Neymar. Like they both play very well, like from the wings. And if you put them on opposite sides, then that's different. Like they don't.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it, man.
Like
But
like
like
like they just don't clash basically.
they don't clash. Like they really pair well together.
Okay.
It just feels right because they come from opposite wings, but they both create opportunities for
Hmm.
other people. Mbappe especially. And I feel like he's less selfish in that aspect, while Neymar is a little bit more selfish. So like they pair well together. But I
Okay.
feel like if it's Ronaldo and Messi, Messi creates a lot of chances for himself, and can dish it out. Like he can set up opportunities for someone else.
Yeah.
It's just in Barcelona, it just doesn't work.
Hmm.
But Ronaldo for me is very selfish, like very
Oh,
selfish.
okay.
So
All
I
right.
don't feel like they would mix well together, especially
Hmm.
with some other players on that team that fit well to that formation. And I just don't think Messi can just plug in and they win everything. It's just not that easy.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I don't watch religiously, but that's just in my opinion. Like I just don't see that happening at all, especially with the legacies that they have to create for each
Hmm.
other. Like
Yeah.
they're trying to define themselves as the greatest players in the world ever,
Yeah.
and for them to do it together, it just wouldn't for me sit well with Ronaldo. And I feel like Messi wouldn't say it out loud, but he would be like, just not for me. Like I want to do it myself.
That sounds very familiar. And just a quick side note, but it sounds very familiar to what happened with the whole optic situation with Hex. Because I don't know if you know this, but at one point in time before Hex was gonna sign on with NRG, him and Hastro were talking, and it was gonna happen. Hastro and Hex on the same org running it together. Could you imagine the powerhouse Envy would have become? But I remember Hex said in a podcast that the competition between them is what makes it great, you
Yeah.
know? So I can understand where you're coming from when it comes to, like Messi and Ronaldo. So that makes sense.
It'd be the easy way out
Yeah,
if you
basically.
were to just come together like that. And I don't
Yeah.
think that's the best thing for soccer, especially like if you're FIFA, if like European soccer or any of these clubs, like it's just not good for business if both of those guys are on the same team and
Yeah.
just steal the competition. Like,
Yeah.
because maybe it would be easy enough for them to just go in and just kill everybody, but then there's no parity. There's no possibilities of anybody else coming in and having a great season. Like I think what's great about soccer right now is that like anybody can win. Like once Ronaldo left Real Madrid, I was like, also everybody has a chance. Like
Yeah.
it's now like Juventus, it's now Liverpool. Like Premier League's really stepping up, and then all
Yeah.
these great players are going everywhere else, not just the typical Real Madrid, and Barcelona, and that's it. But like now everyone's going to different places, and you get teams that are just coming out of nowhere. Like my boy Chucky Lozano goes to Napoli, which is a unknown of a Italian club to a lot of people that don't watch it, on a regular basis,
Yeah.
and they were like making a good Champions League run, and they're winning against Juventus in a cup final, and they're
Wow.
beating them. Like it's great, and they are an incredible team for what they have. Like they don't have a star, they just make it work, and
Yeah.
you're starting to see that with a lot more teams. And like the final four consisted of two teams that never win anything. Like it's Lyon and Red Bull Leipzig. Like no one's gonna know who they are if you don't watch Champions League all day, every day.
Yeah.
But they made it all that way, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah. So okay, so then let me ask this question on this same topic. Would you say that, obviously different teams coming up are good for the sport, whatever sport it is, right? You're saying that, it's good that soccer has that variety of teams that come up every season or that come up every other couple seasons. That's why I love baseball, because in baseball, the playoffs, besides the couple teams, like the Yankees, like the Dodgers, like the Cheaters, the Astros, you know,
Quickly, can I just say, I'm not a hateful person, and I wish no ill will on anybody, but the karma that is going Jose Altuve's way, and really the Astros' way, of him batting like below 200 and like striking out a lot, even on like just straight down the middle fastballs, like he's swinging and missing. It's not that I love seeing them fail. It's just
very satisfying to watch.
It's satisfying because I know karma exists. Like, thank God they're getting some consequences for this, because you know that MLB is not going to do anything about it.
No, they're not.
Free Joe Kelly. Free Joe Kelly.
I was about to say that. Me and you are duo, straight
God,
up, 100%.
Man. And like,
my lord,
like Trevor Bauer's about to get suspended
and
like punished for wearing those cleats. I'm like, so you can't wear cleats that,
but you can cheat.
But you can cheat to a championship. Got it. Awesome.
Possibly two.
Possibly
two.
But for Jose Altuve to just have like a slump, I'm like, okay, there is some justice in this world.
Yeah,
to where,
for sure.
It's not always the bad people that come out on top.
Yeah.
It may happen for a good while, and you just say like, hey, like there's nothing we can do about it. We're out of like there's no control over this. But one day they will get their comeuppance. They will rue this day.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's happening to the Astros right now. And they're playing terrible baseball, by the way.
Yeah, they're playing awful. Garbage.
So thank God karma exists.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, right now in the AL, it's really just the Yankees, the A's, and the Rays. That's it.
You mean the Red Sox aren't doing good?
Who?
Mookie Betts' old team.
Oh, the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Dude, you said Mookie Betts, and that's when I remembered. Yeah. However, I will say, respect to Mookie Betts, he is destroying it in LA. He is a monster, my lord. Right. But not as good as my boy, Fernando Tatis.
Tatis Jr. is,
dude.
Jesus Christ,
dude. He's about to invent the quad crown. No triple, no triple crown. No, the quad crown. He is literally leading the league in every single statistic that you can possibly have in baseball. It's insane. He is the MVP. Anybody who says different right now, you are wrong. Get away from me. I love him. Also, Manny Machado, you're really good too. Love you.
Oh, I forget that Manny Machado's with the Padres, man.
Yeah.
Look,
so is Eric Hosmer, by the way. People keep forgetting that.
Oh, true.
So is Eric Hosmer.
Wait, so okay, I haven't watched Tatis play, but I'm seeing the stats and I'm like, oh, that's actually good. Like I don't know, like eye test wise what he looks like.
Yeah.
But I think those numbers look pretty good to me.
Let me say it this way. Remember when Mike Trout and Bryce Harper barely came into the league?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he is. That's what Fernando is right now. He's crushing it. He's killing it. No one can compete with him right now. He's insane. I mean, look, for me personally, one of my favorite players in baseball is Nolan Arenado. That guy, if I were a GM of a baseball team, here's the blank check. Put whatever you want on there. My lord, he is insane. But right now, I have to say, because we got the elite players like Bryce, like Manny, like Mike. But, hey, man, Fernando, he's coming up. And
that's what San Diego needs. They just need attention. They need that spark.
He's coming up, man. And let me say, the Padres are looking a little scared right now.
Can I just say that my mother walked in, like 20 minutes ago, sneaked into my room and placed something on my desk. And I was like, what is she doing? What? What are you doing? And I looked at it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'll take a look at it. And then I open it up, and as soon as you started talking about the Padres, she got me a Chihuahua's face mask.
Oh my!
You know, I'm going back to work next week, right? Mm-hmm. I'm repping this so hard. Like I'm gonna throw this in your face. Like, I'm just gonna brag about this because this is dope. Like,
that's, bro. Honestly, that's the little thing. I'm not going to lie. When they released the name,
I hated it.
I was pissed off. I cannot believe that out of all the final hashtag thanks Bubba Lutz mom.
Mama Lutz.
I could not believe that they came up with such a dumb name like the Chihuahuas. Are you serious? That is so stupid.
Yeah, but out of all the names, because I did that contest and I saw Desert Gators, I was like,
dude,
tough,
bro. Tell me that would have not been hard, bro.
Because it had
Paso
history to it. It made sense.
Yeah,
it made sense. So then I'm like, I looked at Chihuahuas. I was like, you're going to give me this most stereotypical thing because we're so close to the border. It's just a bunch of Mexicans. So you go with Chihuahuas. Like, look, once I started working for the radio station and I started working for the Chihuahuas, you start to look around the league of the Pacific Coast League, and you start to think, well, maybe Chihuahuas isn't the worst one, but it's definitely not the best one. Like, you know what? Okay, I think we're done talking about like analytical. Let's just have fun with it. Look, when I saw that the Albuquerque Isotopes were a team, W of a name.
Listen, I'm about to blow your mind. There is a little flying insect in my room. I'm gonna murder it after this podcast.
Jesus.
Listen. The Akron Rubber Ducks.
Oh.
Tell me that does not go hard.
The Rubber Ducks.
Pull up the logo for and show it off, dude.
Let's do it.
I would wear a shirt. I would wear, dude.
The thing about this though, and I think this is the same case for the Chihuahuas, is that they made the logos pretty hard. Like,
yeah, they did.
It works.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make a Chihuahua look tough, but somehow they did.
They pulled it off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. This Rubber Ducks is like a good logo. I like it.
Dude, would you not cop like a shirt or something like that?
Absolutely.
I would wear a shirt.
Absolutely.
Rubber Ducks.
If you really think about it, in El Paso, you repped a chili pepper for years.
I know. Yeah. For real.
Like, it was cool that they were called the Diablos. Which, by the way, like the throwback,
they're lit.
design, like that the Chihuahuas did. Oh, dude, I caught the jersey real quick.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
What's another? I remember looking at like Salt Lake Bees.
I got you.
I was like,
I got you. Oh yeah, I saw that. No, I got you though. Ready? Hold on. I want to make sure I get this right because this name.
We should have a tournament.
It wins. It wins. Watch. Let me see real quick. Let me pull it up.
Dude, I looked up bad minor league baseball team names.
Got it. Ready?
And one of them was the El Paso Chihuahuas. Hey, wait, hold up. Albuquerque Isotopes is on here. I call BS. I don't like that list anymore.
Listen, I got you, though. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Pensacola Blue Wahoos. You like that?
Jesus.
Dude, tell me that name does not go hard.
Bro.
Hey, what hey man, you want to go to the Blue Wahoos game? You want to go to the Blue Wahoos?
What'd you call me?
Oh, no, man, the Blue Wahoos.
What'd you say about my mama?
I said the Blue Wahoos.
Nah, bro, I'm gonna go to the Modesto Nuts game.
Oh my god.
Huh? This
God.
By the way, this is on a list of like the 20 worst team names. That's 13. That's 13.
Really?
We got the Fort Wayne Tin Caps.
Wow. The Tin Caps. Huh.
Akron Rubber Ducks make an appearance.
Okay. That's cap, but you know, whatever.
Dude. Don't forget about the Richmond Flying Squirrels.
How could I forget, dude? When I used to play MLB The Show, I was actually on that team for my
Yes,
prospect. Yeah,
they were my rivals.
yeah. Oh
I hit
man,
dingers. Oh, dude, Montgomery Biscuits. Come on,
that I
man.
mean,
You know what's weird about it too is that those teams are the best ones. Like they
yeah, they
always seem
really
to
are.
win.
Yeah,
Like imagine, like I was at UNT, right? And this was
yeah.
the year that the Chihuahuas won the title. I
Oh yeah,
remember I remember repping a shirt, and then like I'd go to class and everyone would just look at me. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm wearing a Chihuahua. Yeah, that's right. Or
yeah.
even when at work, like I'll just throw that as a snippet. I'm like, yeah, I worked for a AAA baseball team, and they're like, who? I'm like, the El Paso Chihuahuas. They're like, the what?
But what'd you
Yes,
say?
the Chihuahuas.
The Chihuahuas. Yeah. Man, listen, dude. Honestly, I love the whole minor league system. I think baseball has it right when it comes to like who they bring up as prospects. But besides like the system, you cannot sit there and say that these names go hard. And like I said, I would cop a Akron Rubber Ducks shirt, and I would wear it.
I'm gonna look this up because I think this takes the cake.
Okay.
But didn't at some point El Paso have a team called the Tomatoes?
What?
I'm not lying.
No, no, no.
I swear I saw it at some point. Oh my god, dude. I swear
The what? The tomatoes?
I've seen Tomatoes as a baseball team.
I think you're a little off there, buddy.
No. I'm not lying. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it.
Listen, if you find it during editing, put it right here, right there.
I promise you, I saw it at some point. It was, and I swear it was El Paso. I swear, because I saw it and I was like, a tomato? What? I was like, imagine cheering for the Tomatoes.
Oh my God.
Like, go Tomatoes.
Speaking of new names, I know me and you both don't watch hockey, but I gotta say, the Seattle Kraken, I like it. I dig it. I think that's a badass name.
I think I saw the logo. This logo looks cool.
Yeah, that's a hard name, honestly. Hey man, who do you root for? The Seattle Kraken.
Whoa,
dude! Tell me that does not go hard. And I don't even watch hockey, but I have to admit it goes hard.
When they announced the Las Vegas team and they were called the
Golden Knights,
the Golden Knights, I was like, that
goes hard. Yeah,
their logo's nice.
Did you notice that a lot of people got into hockey because of that team?
Yeah, because they went all the way to the finals.
The finals, they lost, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, I think it was the Capitals that year.
Yeah, but dude, you know what? I think that's a perfect example of you won when your own team, just because of how badass it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And also the logo. The logo's cool, like the like the Spartan helmet or whatever.
Yeah,
dude, I think that's when you know that your marketing team and your design team, they crushed it. Like, when was the last time you heard of hockey, like having a draw of fans, in forever, you know? But just because of that team, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, you do have the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I hear that's a very stereotypical bandwagon-y team.
I'm just saying the names because like that's like the Canadians, like, come on, and no disrespect, I'm just saying a little more variety, a little more effort in the name.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how, because when the Chihuahuas thing happened, like when the name first came out, I was like, that's stupid, that's so dumb, I hate it. And then like I just saw them like really back it up, and then they put out really good merchandise. They put out really good logos. Like, it wasn't just the Chihuahua. It was like the baseball with like the paw on it, or like the paw, or just even the head. Like, and then they came out with all these throwbacks, and they came out with like that jersey that's just like the literal like Chihuahua face.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then it got auctioned off. It came out on ESPN with Keith Olbermann, and I'm like, oh wow, like they made something out of nothing. Like, this team should not like have this much publicity for being called the Chihuahuas. Like, that's just a basic name, but yet now they're one of the most recognizable
minor league team logos. Yeah,
not just minor league baseball teams, but franchises in sports.
Yeah,
like I mean, you could literally go like anywhere in the country, and then like you show them that, and you're like, oh, I think actually I remember seeing that once, like with their jersey. Or like if you go to any minor league team, like they're gonna recognize the Chihuahuas because they won a few years back, and they've been a really good baseball team ever since they started. You know, some really good players have come through El Paso.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Exactly. Cody Decker, who is beloved by the baseball community.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of the guys that ended up going to the Padres, going to the Phillies, like guys that are well respected. So, like,
Jorge Soler was here for a while too.
That's right. Yes.
During his injury assignment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you remember when Randy Johnson was rehabbing and played a game versus the Diablos?
You know what? Yes, I do remember that actually. Yeah.
Like,
I remember like the tickets for that game sold out instantly, just so people can go see Randy Johnson.
I mean, that's awesome, right?
Yeah.
That, like, I mean, going to Cohen Stadium was like, well, yeah. I love the atmosphere of Diablos games.
Yeah, they were cool.
Their food sucked. Like, their food
was garbage.
I mean, like, the pizza tasted like cardboard. And then I remember my dad eating the hell out of the popcorn. We'd go on quarter-cent hot dog night.
Oh, yeah.
I remember we got in an accident on the way to Cohen Stadium because it was quarter-cent hot dog night. And, you know, he hit the back of a car. That was fun. But, dude, that thing was, like, beaten down. And
it really was. Yeah.
Just on his last few legs. But
it's torn down now.
It's torn down now, but boy, was it just a fun. Like, the Diablos sucked.
Oh, they were garbage.
They were a horrible team, but it just felt nice to go to a game.
Yeah.
And,
it really did. I remember.
Like, I think with those years after the Diablos were gone, and then we got the Chihuahuas, it was a weird feeling because it is in downtown instead of just like randomly on the other side of town.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, it's in downtown, and it's brand new. It looks amazing. The food's phenomenal. Like,
yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, what was the?
They have so many good vendors there too.
They do. I think it was it's a green chile wrap. So it was a burger, but it had green chile and it was in a tortilla.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It was the greatest thing I've ever tasted there.
Jesus.
Dude. Oh my god.
I actually kind of want that now, I'm not going to lie.
I think I got, like, their burgers just in general are amazing. And I remember, like, when the season started, they let me and some of the guys from the radio station go and do a taste test for a lot of the new things that they're bringing. Yeah. And I think one of them was the wrap. And I was like, I'm going to get this every single time. Like, it was
that's sick.
So good.
Honestly, like, whenever like I would go last season, like, the vibes are always good there. Like, you know, it wasn't always sold out, obviously, but like in general, the stadium was pretty filled all the time.
I think people appreciate, you know, not only that it's a good baseball team, but it's just a fun environment. Like, it doesn't just have to be for people that love baseball. It can just be like you want to have a good time, and you're in downtown where it's beautiful. An amazing constructed stadium.
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%.
That like it reminds me a lot about Petco Park, but also some implementation of other beautiful parks.
Right field. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like every year they try to do something a little bit different, but like the way that they run that is amazing. And
yeah, it really is.
Like, that's one of the things I miss, really. And there's a baseball team here. Not the Rangers. Like the Rangers, I want to go to the new stadium just to feel it out.
Dude, Globe Life Park. Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful. My God.
like they're gonna lose a lot, but at least they do it in style.
Dude, with Joey Gallo hitting triple decker shots
Dude,
like every day. Did you see
Joey
that?
Gallo just hits dingers.
He's insane.
The man is a walking home run derby.
He really is. He really is, and he makes it look easy.
He's really good at MLB The Show. Like that dude does the same exact thing he does in the game.
Yeah,
in the game.
I saw that. It's funny when they had that whole what was it like MLB The Show 20
tournament
player
bracket. Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool.
Dude would be down like 4-0 and just hit bombs.
Dude, Tommy Cannell or Canley, I forgot how to pronounce it. From the Yankees was there. Bro, get your game up, my lord. God, I mean, represent us good, yeah. Jeez. But anyway, yeah, no, man, I agree with you. The whole Chihuahuas thing, like, besides the fact that the name is garbage, they've really made, like they really made like something out of really what everybody didn't like, and I give them massive props to that, 100%. Yeah.
I truly miss that because I think the closest one here that we have is the Round Rock Express or the AA baseball team, which is the Rough Riders. I want to say it's AA. But I've never gone to a game.
The Frisco Rough Riders?
Yes, yeah. Which Frisco is like probably an hour away, so I could make the trip.
Yeah.
And of course, they canceled the season, but whenever they do get it back, the only time that I've gone to a minor league baseball game, other than being in El Paso, was driving to OKC for them winning the championship against the Dodgers, and having to do like a 4-hour drive, but like. I fell in love with that team. Like, they really just mean a lot to me and my journey. But just the players and the atmosphere that it brings, it truly is something that El Paso needed.
Dude, big time. I'm one of those people that this El Paso's not it, dude. In my opinion, it's not. Like this is my home and everything, and I was raised here. And, I do have a love for the city, but, dude, it's just compared to, like, over there, like, in East Texas, like, this city's just not it. There's just so much more stuff over there, dude. Like,
if I had my choice, I'd bring a few things from El Paso. Okay. I'd bring the people. Because whenever I meet people from El Paso...
That's the one thing I do agree with you.
Yeah, that I meet them here... and they're originally from El Paso, they are the nicest people in the world, and you instantly have a connection because it's just like you don't know the person, but you already have a sense of like trust with that person.
Yeah, that El Paso connection. Yeah,
exactly. There's so many things you can talk about.
It's widely known that like El Paso cultural like connection is really strong, and I do agree that it's a very good asset we have here.
Yeah. Second, the food.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I miss that food. You don't know how many times I think about Peter Piper pizza on a daily basis.
Who was I having this conversation with the other day? It was Gilbert. We were talking about how, because I think his friend Matt was saying how they don't have a Peter Piper and how he misses it too. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what the hell do you mean? I thought Peter Piper was like a nationwide chain or whatever. And he was like, nah, Matt has to drive an hour because I think Matt lives in Dallas or something like that, like in actual Dallas. And I was mind blown. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. So we're actually very fortunate here to have Peter Piper.
So there used to be there's now one, and that's the one he's talking about. There used to be two locations within my area, which it was still an hour drive, but even then it doesn't taste the same. They were completely different.
That's what Matt said. That's exactly what Matt said, that it doesn't taste the same, that it tastes completely different. Like if the ingredients are like they're not the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What other spot? Did you ever go to Frisco's Burgers?
My guy. I literally live 2 minutes away from him.
That's right. We talked about this.
Yeah, dude, I love that place. Shout out to Mrs. Oh, I forgot her name. That's kind of embarrassing. She is amazing. She makes so much bank that she's able to literally shut down the restaurant for 2 months to go to China. to visit her family. I mean, hats off to her. She's a very sweet lady, and I
She
like her a
is.
lot.
Every time we'd go, before I left for Fort Worth, she would always be there, and she would
Yeah,
always ask like how it was. But honestly, you know what's crazy is that when I was younger and that spot was like before the restoration and
yeah.
before the renovation, I didn't like it.
Really?
I really didn't like it. It wasn't
Wow.
until like they fixed it up and I was like, okay, this doesn't feel like crappy. And
Okay.
then I gave it
Okay.
another shot and I was like, I had like a double meat with like jalapenos and what I
Ooh.
usually get,
Ooh.
and I was like, oh, this is
Is
different.
yeah, dude. Frisco burger slaps. Anybody who hasn't gone to Frisco that lives here in El Paso that listens to like this podcast, you guys have to go. It is so good.
So good.
And like and dude, I'm gonna just say something real quick too. Do you see or do you know?
The Muffin Man.
Shut up. How many Corvettes that woman has?
Wait, those are hers?
Those are hers, dude.
Oh,
She has the cherry red. She
I've seen
has
that
the
one.
she has the all black. And then I believe if I saw correctly, she has a midnight blue.
Ooh,
Dude, that
midnight
I'm
blue.
telling you, dude, that lady balling. Shout out to her.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it is a small restaurant if you really think about it.
It really is. Yeah, it really is. Um honestly, dude, like I said, like I guess I could say that the internals of El Paso like is what I would miss when it comes to like the people, the food, the culture, the hospitality of just, the people in general, But dude, like I mean, when it comes to like stuff to do here, like there's really not a lot. And I
There's
mean,
not.
you can make the argument, and I've had this argument before with many people, and I could agree that, it is my fault that I probably don't look enough. But even if you do look, dude, like compare like a small little like for example like one event that's really cool here in El Paso, and I will say that I really do like going, is like Chalk the Block. Chalk the Block is lit. I like it. It's a really cool event. But dude, compare Chalk the Block to like all the artists that go over there to East Texas,
Mm-hmm.
Compare Chalk the Block to the fact that me and Gilbert had to drive 10 hours just to go to an esports event over there with you.
True.
Like we just don't get that here. We don't. And I understand that we're a growing city and we're growing, trust me, we're growing, but it's just not there yet. And that's why I say that El Paso is not it. Will it be it? Yeah, I could see it in like the next maybe like 5 to 10 years. But I'm already at a point in my life where I'm trying to like, get a job over there. I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
stay here, So yeah, it's a very it's a very iffy subject whenever I talk about it with other people, because dude, you can't even imagine like the backlash I get when I talk about El Paso like that. It's insane.
I've lived here long enough and I've gone back enough to really have opinion of, look, I love going back to visit,
Mhm.
but if I've had people ask me like, are you going to move back? When are you moving back? I'm like, I'm never going to move back,
Yeah,
because what I did,
please don't.
I mean, it's just what I did in high school and before I graduated. A lot of the stuff that I want to do with my life, which is in sports, journalism,
Yeah.
like the best things that are over there right now are ESPN,
Okay.
the radio station, which I've
Yeah.
worked at already.
AM 600, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Worked
Yeah.
there already. Worked there for like 3 years. Got an internship. Worked for the Chihuahuas. Boom, bang, done. I'm pretty much done as far as what I can do there. There's
Yeah.
not much else I could have done.
Mhm.
The El Paso Times. I
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
went to a camp that worked alongside the El Paso Times and a lot of the news outlets to get like a big story done that was going to be like shown off, whatever, and it had a lot to do with coverage of like high school sports and UTEP. Well, I did UTEP stuff at ESPN, and I did pretty much every high school sport at Hanks,
Okay.
and was the El Paso Times outlet for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I did that, which is one of the highest things you could do there. Like Felix Chavez did a lot of great things. I was gonna basically be him if I stayed there.
Yeah.
Well, here, I've covered high school football. That is literally breaking the surface, like the tip of the iceberg of what I can do here.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've already done everything I could over there compared to here, there's no shot that I will go back there and live there for a long period of time.
I mean, it is what it is, man. It's just the way how it is. And I'm not saying this to hate because, like I said, it's a city I love, and especially with me too, like, I've talked to you about this, like, just like personally, like, dude, I can't get a job here for what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, like an esports job here in El Paso? I mean, yeah, right. Good luck. I might as well just go get a regular job,
Right.
So, yeah, dude, East Texas is just a place to be, especially for me and you, because me and you are very similar in what we want to do in life, just obviously different ends of the sports spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to think about it. It's like when we talk about like what is there to do here. Look, I'm not a person that likes to go out, like as far as bars, clubs. It's not me. I just don't want to do it. Like I know how to have a good time with friends, and if we end up going to a bar, I'll have a good time. But
the nightlife compared to there to here.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I've done it a couple times. And it's just crazy. It really is because there's so many options. But it's just not me, man. So like I just think about it like that. Yeah, there's other stuff that you can do, but like I don't know. It's just something about El Paso where it's like if you don't go to downtown or to the mall, then that's it. Like
my dad has a saying, and I'll never forget it just because of how accurate it is about El Paso. If you're not at the movies, you're at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not at the mall, then you're at a restaurant.
Yep.
If you're not at a restaurant, then you're downtown at San Jacinto Plaza.
Yep.
And if you're not at any of those, you're at home.
Yeah, that is so true.
That is exactly what El Paso is.
Because I'll put it to you, the Tinseltown.
Dude, it's not even called Tinseltown anymore for the past 10 years, and people
Who cares? Who cares? I'm calling it Tinseltown.
It's Tinseltown, yeah.
Cielo Vista.
Yes, the only mall that's still popular, by the way. I don't know if anybody's told you that.
What do you mean?
Dude, Sunland Park, dead.
Well, I'm not driving like 45 minutes to go to a mall.
Well, yeah, but dude, like the west side's the nicer part of town, and that's their mall, and it's dead.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think the fountains have to do a lot with that as well.
Yeah. Well, because now it's just the fountains and Cielo Vista. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Bassett, somewhat dying now. The outlets, they're somewhat dying as well.
But Bassett's had the plug.
Yeah.
I remember I went back one time with Nick, and we went to the Adidas store, and dude, I with $200, I was like, I got all this. Wow.
Yeah.
I got shoes too. Oh my god,
Yeah.
you know me and shoes.
Yeah,
so I was balling out. But yeah, that it is a far drive. That's basically what you're going to like Canotillo.
Yeah, the outlets, yeah.
Fuck that. I'm not. Oh Jesus. So then, if you're not going to Tinseltown or Cielo Vista, when I do go back, I'll go to Frisco's. I'll go to Track One.
Oh, Track One. That's my boy's spot right there, dude.
Look,
that's our spot right there.
Look, if any of you come here or are from here and don't like Pluckers, we can't be friends. Second,
I liked it when you took me. It was really good.
Oh, dude, I took you to all the good spots, and now there's more spots
really
that I can take you to.
Nice.
But Pluckers is
Shout out Fred's Texas Chicken Cafe. Texas Kitchen Cafe. Oh, dude.
Oh, I went there like a week ago.
Oh, don't stop.
Okay.
Texas is so good.
Pluckers is my favorite wing spot of all time. But that was before I went back and Sal, my former coworker and the guy who makes the music for this podcast, said, let's go to Track One. I was like, I've heard of it, but I don't know where it's at, and I don't know.
Dude, Track One.
The greatest wings I've ever had.
It's so
no doubt in my mind.
So good.
What's it called? What's that? What's that?
The double dip wings.
Double dip. Just.
Dude, I love. I love their lemon pepper wings just because I love lemon pepper in general. But even I have to admit that I've tried the double dip sometimes, and man, it smacks. It
Double
smacks.
dip built different.
Built different.
It just doesn't make sense. Like when you read it, you're like, I don't know if I like that flavor. And it comes out and you're like, oh, it's going to be sticky. It's going to be weird.
Yeah, but then you bite into it and it's like, oh
Oh.
my. Yeah, dude. Track one is
anything,
legit.
You get burgers, you get the appetizers, and then the scenery. Like it's in a freaking train.
It's a train car, yeah. It's cool.
Train car.
Yeah.
And you're like, how do we fit 200 people in this place?
But it works.
The wait's kind of tough because
The wait is kind of tough, yeah.
Because you're either waiting in that very compact little area, or you're in 100-degree weather. Like
Basically,
that's it.
Yeah.
Because it's in the like it's literally around desert.
Yeah. But it's worth it. It's worth it.
It is.
But yeah, dude.
I miss El Paso, man, but it's just not long term. What
you miss the like the small capabilities. You don't miss like
it's
general.
perfect for going on vacation. It's perfect for visiting.
Dude, honestly, El Paso is a really good place to like retire.
Yeah.
Like once you're older and like, because here the cost of living here is so cheap compared to like Texas in general. It's super quiet. It's super safe, which is weird because we have Juarez right next door. But it's
J-Town.
Yeah, but it's super safe.
Shout out to FC Juarez, who just signed Marco Fabian.
Yeah.
Let's go. I want a jersey.
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
What you got against FC Juarez, huh?
I don't have anything against Cross. I honestly forgot they were even a team.
Yeah, what's going on there, bro? Bro, it's. Oh, we got some Juarez fans
that's
in the
my
building.
Dog. That's my dog, actually.
Hey, maybe they're a fan of Marco Fabian.
Wow. Oh.
Damn, bro, what'd you do?
Bro, what's going on out there?
Who hurt her?
Him.
Who hurt him?
Dude, the other dog, bro. The other dog on the other side is a bitch, bro.
Whoa, bro.
Hey, but I'm not lying though, because it's a girl. Got you on that one, bro.
Is it a Chihuahua? I think that does it.
Yeah, right here. I want you to put an epic dad joke when I said that.
No.
Can I be a dad yet?
Can you be a dad yet?
Yeah, that was a pretty good dad joke, right? Does that qualify?
Thank you so much for listening and watching the episode 156 of the Bubble Let Sports Podcast, everybody. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, man.
We'll leave it at that. What am I going to say? Speaking of the Chihuahuas, that actually sets it up pretty nice for our guest on Tuesday. So just keep that in mind.
Was that a foreshadowing?
That's
right
a little teaser. I'm a fish it out. I'm a send the reel.
Yeah.
And just slowly reel it in. You know.
Am I hearing a couple of cryptic posts on Twitter?
Whoa.
Do you like that one, huh? You like that one?
You flew that. But yeah, for both of us, just pay attention to what's going to happen in the next week.
Yes,
a lot of things are happening. Big tings.
Shout out Drake. That man doesn't miss. Have you heard his new track? That man doesn't miss.
Talked about it with Mikey. Not a fan. Yeah, he was surprised too. I just didn't like the song. No, I will rephrase that. I think it's a good song, but it's not something I'd listen to every day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, cool.
I'm on that old school Drake.
Hey, old school Drake, I admit, he's
unbeatable.
I will agree.
Views on playback all day, every day.
All day, every day.
Guys, we are at 83 subscribers on YouTube. We need to get to 100. Stat. Now.
Wow.
But until then, I appreciate every single one of you for listening, for watching, and make sure to continue to support this podcast because, once again, big things happening very soon. So big teams. So until then, we will see you next time on the Bubble Let Sports podcast.
Yeah, hold on. Tell me who's your top 5 quarterbacks right now, dead or alive, huh? And how much do you care about a ring if the best player got carried by the team? Now would you lose if it been a better draft?